We live? All right, let's get straight into this, man. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to an exciting edition, I would call tonight's show. A very exciting edition of 27 Outs live, of course. As always, I'm Ivan alongside Stefan. I was coming into tonight's live hoping to, and we are, of course, today was great. If you're a baseball fan, not if you're just a Mets fan or a Braves fan, we're gonna get into all the obvious things that went down earlier today. And if you missed out, that's why we're here. So we've got you covered.
Don't worry. Don't worry. Throughout the course of the show, guys, I'm gonna pull up some highlights popping on the screen. So the big moments from these games today, you will see them. We will dissect them. But here's what we're gonna do tonight, man. We're gonna talk about both sides of the bracket, both in the American and National Leagues. We're gonna give you our take on what everything's gonna look like moving forward. And here's what I will tell you: if today was any indication of what this postseason is going to look like, my Lord,
I said
we in for a treat
it on our last live. For those of you who haven't checked that out, make sure you go check it out. We did, I believe it was an American League breakdown.
Yeah.
But in that live, I did say that, I wouldn't be mad with some premature playoff baseball. And I think that's exactly what we got. Shout out to the baseball gods, along with the Mets and the Braves
Man.
everything that they provided us with today. But really quickly, before we get into that, Stefan, you shared something that I didn't know about until I saw it in the chat. We did unfortunately find out about the passing of Major League Baseball's all-time hits leader, Pete Rose. Major League Baseball has never really liked, or I would say acknowledged him for what he did for the game. But still, nonetheless, it's unfortunate that he passed away. Seriously.
It's tragic, and I'll say this: we shouldn't be talking about his gambling. We should just be talking about his on the field today. On the field is everything you want a baseball player to be. This guy played with his hair on fire. He played hurt, and he made hitting look as easy as you could make hitting. Hitting's not as easy as he made it. He finished with 4,256 hits. Just imagine being able to say, "Yo, I got over. Forget 3,000. I got 4,000."
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm in a class of my own. So shout out to the legend. Shout out to the OG.
By the way, speaking of that, we're gonna get into the good stuff very soon, but I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna say it right here on tonight's show. I don't think anybody ever touches that record again.
Nah.
Yeah.
With the way the game is now, and you got these pitchers throwing 1,000,000,000 miles an hour, and the way that situational baseball is dead right now. They want you to hit home runs and hit doubles in the gap, and they don't want those Luis Ariz singles. Shout out to Luis Ariz, who you can make the argument is the modern day Tony Gwynn, Pete Rose
I
type of player.
I think he's definitely the best contact hitter in the game today.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
One last thing about this Pete Rose thing, and that'll be it for me before we get into all the good stuff. But I really hope Major League Baseball did not wait for this to happen to finally give Pete Rose and his family the flowers not only he deserved, but they deserve for his contributions to the game. Well, I don't know if you feel the same way, Stefan.
No, I'm going to
tell you this happen. For example, the WWE. I think they waited until like China had passed away to when she should have been in their Hall of Fame.
I agree.
Long before she finally got inducted.
I agree,
but we'll see.
So I will tell you, I think he does get in now that he's dead, and I'm leaving it like this. You got deals with DraftKings, you got deals with Bet Sportsbook, you got deals with every gambling company underneath the sun. Can we stop with the foolishness and put this dude in the Hall of Fame? He got more hits than the entire world. Stop this foolishness. R.I.P. Pete Rose. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Right.
And if you wonder why me and this guy love the game, today's Braves Mets game was Exhibit A as to why, to us, baseball is the best sport in the world. I know, listen, everybody says the Super Bowl NBA Finals. By the
Y'all
way,
can have that. Y'all can have all that. I'm good with Major League Baseball alone.
I'm telling you right now, if you do not love what we saw today, you don't have a soul.
Right.
You don't have a soul. Because I'm not a Met fan. I'm not a Brave fan. But my Lord, was I like, holy shit.
Can it get any better than what they did today? I mean, I don't think so.
And mind you, here's the thing I'm going to tell you. This felt like a very old school 80s, 90s type baseball game. And I'm going to explain what I mean. Pitching ruled the day for 7 innings.
Right.
Pitching was impeccable. Tyler McGill pitched a hell of a game.
Yes, he did.
Gave up 2 runs, gave up the home run to Ozzy Albies. But other than that, he was damn near... Is there another word for excellent or
right.
efficient?
I'm gonna need somebody to do some research. But it's gonna be very hard to find what I would say is the best 161st game of all time. And I know that sounds confusing because yesterday everybody played 162.
I know.
For those who don't know, today was 161 and 162, at least for the Mets and the Braves.
Braves, right.
That 161st game was, I mean, forget about it.
And the reason why this felt like this might be the greatest ending to a regular season, like, because both teams needed the playoffs. Like, right. I remember there was landing 162 in Tampa when Evan Longoria hit the home run off of Mariano Rivera, but the Yankees were already in the playoffs at that point. Yeah. So they didn't need the game. Where both of these teams literally needed, we got to win today. And one of the sidebars that came out of this, if the Braves won today, who's starting for them in game 1? If they won game 1, who's starting for them in game 1 of the next round? Because I think Chris Sale's done for the season.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, Stefan, because unfortunately the Braves have been hit again with hopefully it's not something that is going to keep him out long term. But anytime you have your ace, I mean, let's be honest, Chris Sale is more than likely going to be named this year's National League Cy Young Award. So kudos to him for finally being able to turn it back to what he once did in the league. But yeah, huge blow, not only for himself, but for the Braves, who have, I would say, dealt with this all season long. We've talked about it on a few shows here.
They've been
dealing Acuna, no Spencer Strider, no Austin Riley. By the way,
Ozzy Albies just came back.
Right. I'm glad you mentioned Ozzy Albies because I was just going to get into that point. So I heard it today during the broadcast. Ozzy Albies is only hitting as a righty for the remainder of this season because he's not quite right. I don't think he's 100%.
His wrist still hurts.
But the way he played today, oh boy, it looked like 110%. Be honest.
He was, listen, this is why a team like the Atlanta Braves, I'm never going to count them out, because a team that's been there before and just knows what it takes to win games like this, they're going to be tough to beat. What I will say is this, though, is the Mets put their big boy pants on today. They put their big boy pants on today, and they've made a believer out of me. Now, how far this run goes is anybody's guess, even mine and yours.
Right.
But I will say to you today, we're going to break this game down and we can get into the craziness that was this game. But let me just explain something to you right now. If Carlos Mendoza and Francisco Lindor are not in the respective runnings for NL Manager of the Year and NL MVP, somebody needs to be investigated for committing crimes against the public. And I will go a step further and say this. Shohei Ohtani's good. Shohei Ohtani means nothing to the Los Angeles Dodgers because they probably still win that division. Francisco Lindor today proved why he should be the National League MVP.
Right.
This guy is back, is as done can be. And he goes out there, I'm going to hit a home run in Milwaukee, save our season yesterday, bingo, I'm going to go out today, hit a nice little double, get us started, and then I'm going to homer to give us the oh my God.
Which he did in the top of the ninth, by the way.
Oh my God.
Right.
By the way, I think that ball hit a cloud. I think when I saw one of the clouds just what?
You know, I got the Mets jersey on tonight, and for obvious reasons, but you know, tonight is all about what happened earlier today, moving forward. But just to kind of get into what the Mets season was like for them, you know, I just spoke about the Braves briefly, but we're talking about a team that began the season 0-5.
Yeah.
It got to a point where they were, I think, 11 games under 500.
The
You
exact
didn't have Kodai Senga at all this season. You didn't have your ace. Brandon Nimmo, Francisco Lindor were damn near non-existent for like the first month and a half to 2 months of the season. Everything that could have went wrong this year. Oh, and last but not least, Pete Alonso decided to have his worst year as a Met. I don't think anybody could disagree with that. Like, that is an absolute fact.
I agree with you.
But the fact that they went through every single thing that I just mentioned and still put on the performance that they did earlier today, mind you, about a week ago, it looked like Lindor was done for the season. Before we actually found out that he was going to be back, nobody knew what was wrong. Just, I mean, amazing.
Look,
shout out to the Mets, honestly, in every way imaginable. Shout out to the Mets.
I'm going to say this right now. The Met team 2 years ago folds like a cheap tent in the night and just goes home. There's different levels to this thing here. When you talk about a guy, I'm going to go here. When you talk about a guy in Lindor who is not about himself, but is about the team. Right? This guy said, you know what? I can't move. Screw it. I don't feel great. Screw it. I don't feel like I'm you know what I mean? I don't feel like I should even be out there sometimes. But for him to summon the strength and to summon the will to say, you know what? My boys need me, right? This is the time where if you're the best player, you step up. You show up, you show out, no matter how bad it hurts, you give it all you got.
And he did exactly that.
And here's what I'm going to tell you right now. If you don't think the Mets are rolling into Milwaukee, Wisconsin tomorrow night with a chance to say, all right, man, you might have beat us 2 out of 3 in the regular year, but guess what? We back, we here, and we ready to whip your ass. And listen, I'm saying this right now. This is a redemption story for Pete Alonso. It's redemption time for that young man.
It's now or never.
As bad as you were this regular season, and he still hit 34 home runs. So his bad is just, a lot of people will love his bad. I'm just saying, you know, it's redemption time for him. Lindor got you here, but now the others have got to step up.
Yeah, Lindor is going to need Pete Alonso to be his usual
He's
self.
going to need Pete Alonso to step up. You're going to need Starlin Marte to step up. Dare I say, the most important player for this Met team right now is JD Martinez. And here's why.
He's in an awful slump, by the way. Like, I don't even remember the last time he got a base hit, man.
Well, he got 2 hits yesterday in Milwaukee.
Right. But in totality, recently, you could go back to like the past few weeks.
I know. But what I'm saying is, how many times have we seen a guy go through an awful slump to end the regular season, postseason comes, and the veteran in him just comes out where he's like, all right, that's done. This is a different time now. It's a different season altogether. I got to go. Not only for me, but for the teammates in the clubhouse, for the people that I'm supposed to be backing. And here's what I'm going to tell you. I didn't agree with it at the time. So, Rick, I'll give you your flowers here. That was a ballsy move to start Tyler McGill in game 1, because I'm like, damn, shouldn't you be starting Severino? Don't you want the sure thing? And McGill proved me wrong. So I'm gonna come on here. I'm gonna apologize to Rick because I had that one wrong, and I'm gonna say that's a hell of a move by Mendoza to put himself in that spot. Because here's the thing. I didn't know what they were gonna look like. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know what this was going to look like. Because you know what Atlanta has been for them. Let me just read an interesting stat. You know what the Mets were in Atlanta before this game today? You know what their record was over the last 4 seasons?
Let's hear it.
They were 18-34 in 52 games in Atlanta.
Wow.
They were bad.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you start going through, damn, Ozuna hits the home run the other night on Tuesday. They look like they're about to sweep us. You know what I mean?
I'm going to be honest. When I saw that game, which should have been a 3-game set last week, but that's why they had to play the 2 games today. Mm-hmm. But that one game that they played last week, dude, I said, oh, it's a wrap for the Mets. I'm going to be honest. I said it's a wrap. Now, don't get me wrong. I was riding the hope train and you got to believe and all that stuff because I'm a baseball fan, right? And at the end of the day, I'm able to enjoy good baseball, regardless of who's playing, Mm-hmm. But in this case, considering the Mets, I didn't believe, but I continued to watch. I was like, oh, Lindor, he's back. He's back. So let's see how he's going to perform. And it looked like the back was not even an issue for him the way he performed over the past couple of days.
Oh, my God.
But what I do want to say now, because it's a wrap. The regular season is officially done.
Over, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen. What I do want to say is I'm not going to discredit the Mets just yet.
No.
But I'm going to be honest, man. I kind of feel like from this point on, that whole miracle, you got to believe. I understand where you guys are coming from with that. But you also got to have some confidence going into these games. And correct me if I'm wrong, the Mets are going to be underdogs more than likely against whoever it is that they match up against. With the Brewers being the first team.
They're going to get the Brewers. But here's what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to say something that's going to irritate Brewers fans. I'm going to say something that's going to irritate Brewers fans. You might lose this series, Brewers fans. Because here's what I'm going to tell you. What do the Mets have to lose? They just went into the house of horrors for them and won a game that they had no business winning.
Right.
You may have just woken up a sleeping giant. I'm just going to say it listen, the Milwaukee Brewers are good. I get it. You got to deal with Freddie Peralta in game 1's not going to be an easy job. That's not going to be fun to deal with. I get it. You got Devin Williams back there. They got Ashby's back there. We got
Willie Adames hitting the seams off the baseball.
I get it. I get it. What I will tell you is this. You know how serious momentum is when you talk about October baseball.
Around this time, right?
It's serious, bro. The Brewers been chilling for about a couple weeks because they clinched this shit in mid-September. They chilling. Yeah. The Mets had to play the game today just to get to this place to be here. If you do not think that is significant, I got news for you. They've been playing playoff baseball since June 1st. They've been playing playoff baseball every day since June 1st.
I agree.
They might walk into Milwaukee and say, yo, literally, hold my beer. Hold my Miller Genuine Draft beer. Hold this beer, bro. Because we walking in here, we spanking you, and then whoever got to get it in the first round, and it most likely will be Philly, that's not going to be easy series.
Yeah.
Because although Philly would be favored, do you walk in there? I think Philly sweeps the. I don't know. With the way Philly's looked the last 2 months.
Yeah. Plus the Mets and the Phillies just played about a week and a half or two ago, and I believe the Mets won that series 3-1.
3 out of 4.
And I get it, like you just referenced, Stefan. October baseball is very different, and momentum, and right now everything. The stars have aligned in favor of the Mets by the look of things, right? Mm-hmm. All I would say with the Mets is just keep riding it until you can't anymore.
That's what I'm gonna tell you too. Listen, we get into this, who do you want to play and who would you rather have? And I don't want to do that. If you're the Mets, you don't want to do that either. You play who you got. You figure out, okay, what does this look like for us if we gotta play? Milwaukee's not gonna be an easy series.
No, not at all.
Can I see the Mets winning the series? Yes. But the reason why I could also see them losing the series and losing by quite a lot is the mental fatigue that it takes to just get to this place. Here's an interesting stat I want to throw out because I was just reading before we came on the air is Edwin Diaz has thrown 67 pitches in the last 2 days. That's the most pitches he's thrown in his career. 67 pitches in 2 days. That's a lot of pitches. And then I got to pitch tomorrow. I got to get ready for the next day. If you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a lot of wear and tear on the body, man. I don't know. How do you approach that if you're Carlos Mendoza, bro? Like, from the standpoint, this guy's
I was surprised to see Carlos Mendoza still throw Edwin Diaz out there for the ninth.
I agree.
I mean, had I been Carlos Mendoza after what Edwin Diaz did earlier today in the 8th inning against the Braves, I would have said, listen, bud, I think whatever you did in the 8th, we'll have to deal with it, but I can't bring you out. But kudos to Carlos Mendoza and Edwin Diaz. And I don't know if you saw this, Stefan, but right after that 8th inning ended, Edwin Diaz was pissed. I don't know if you saw his face, but it damn near looked like he was about to cry. And I don't blame him because you almost put the game in their hands yet again. And it would have been deja vu. It would have been yet again the Braves defeat the Mets. And how many times have we heard this story?
No, it's that's an interesting point. Bullpens are gonna matter in these playoffs. They always do, but they're gonna matter more now than ever because I feel like these pitchers are going shorter and shorter every postseason that comes around. So I don't know how much Edwin Diaz is gonna have left in the tank.
Right. And then not really just that, earlier today, I also saw that his ERA, when it comes to pitching on back-to-back days, ERA is above 4. Wow. So having to come out, for example, yesterday and today clearly did not work in his favor. The numbers don't lie.
And here's the thing. If you're in a close one tomorrow, guess who they call it? Hey, get up, bro.
You think so? So I understand why you say it. I don't want to act oblivious. I get the decision, but I mean the way the game is played, and Carlos Mendoza seems like a guy who likes to go with his gut.
Okay,
so I respect that.
All right, so close game in the 9th inning. Mets got the lead. If it's not Diaz, then let me ask this question: who is it?
Listen, I understand. That's why I said I know exactly why you would say that, but. Listen, it wouldn't surprise me if moving forward, now that the playoffs are about to begin tomorrow, if Edwin Diaz, and I'm not saying that I want this to happen. I hope it doesn't, because Edwin Diaz, when he's on, it doesn't get any better than that.
Nah, he's filthy.
But by the looks of things, I don't really know how bringing out Edwin Diaz, like you said, possibly for tomorrow or even moving forward, back-to-back games, how does that really favor the Mets?
I mean, at this point, look, you got to run with the horses that brung you. You put yourself in position where there are no days off. This is literally survival of the fittest. The Braves are going to have to deal with the same thing. Because guess what? They got to get on a plane after tonight and go to San Diego. Not going to be easy for them either. So let's not act like, it ain't going to be easy for them either. Did anybody see Raisel Iglesias today? I mean, my Lord. He almost gave it right back. He did give it right back, in fact. So, you got a bullpen problem, buddy.
Yeah.
On both sides.
Definitely.
And I'll leave the Mets at this. Boy, oh boy, do I hope that this is the start of something special for these Mets. Because Met fans, I'm going to say it, I've been critical of you for most of this season. And I still might be critical for you at some point. But right now, I'm going to tell you this. I do not want to see these 3 things on Twitter. If I hear one fuck the Yankees tweet, text, email, or any of that,
I agree.
You should be banned from postseason baseball for the rest of this postseason.
Right.
The second thing I don't want to see is we made it here because of Grimace, or the goddamn Hawk Tua girl.
Right, yeah. Let's stop all that.
Because what you're doing is you're demeaning the greatness and the drive of these players that put themselves in position to be here. I'm good on the OMG tip because that's a player on the team. That's
I was thinking the same thing.
I'm cool on the OMG tip. If you want to sing, oh my God, because literally today.
Oh my God. That's all I know, actually. I don't know the lyrics. I just know that the song is by Jose Iglesias. That's all I can say.
Listen. What they did today was the literal definition of oh my God.
Oh, yes.
So
it was.
If you want to ride that oh my God wave all the way to wherever this ends, you go do that. But man, fans, just enjoy yourselves. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing around you. Just enjoy the moment. Because here's the stat I got for you before we leave. You know this is the 11th time in the Mets history in 64 years that they made the playoffs. Only the 11th time.
It's a big deal for them.
Enjoy the fuck out of this, kids, because it comes around every 10 years.
Well, hopefully, like you said, Stefan, just a couple minutes ago, this could possibly be the start of what's to come regarding the Mets.
I hope so, but you know how history goes. I mean, you start getting to these places, you're like, damn, but we ain't gonna be back here no time soon. But listen, that's fun. Let's look at the Braves side of this, because guess what the Braves got to do right now? You got to get on a flight and you got to go play perhaps the best team in the National League. Better than Philly, damn sure better than the Dodgers,
better than Milwaukee.
To me, the San Diego Padres are the best team in the National League.
You stamping that here tonight live?
And the reason why that is because they have, to me, they have the deepest starting rotation left in the National League. You're going Yu Darvish. I'm going Dylan Cease. I'm going Joe Musgrove. Oh, no, I'm not even going Joe Musgrove. I'm going Michael King. Michael King is getting the ball before Joe Musgrove does. San Diego's going to be tough to deal with, y'all.
Oh, yeah. And then in addition to the rotation, Stefan, you and I have talked about this over the past couple months. That bullpen.
My God.
And we're not just talking about one or two guys. The Padres have about 4 dudes locked and loaded, just waiting to be told, hey, bud, get ready. God.
Jeremiah Estrada. Let's start with Jeremiah Estrada, who's throwing 98. Then I gotta go Jason Adam. Then after Jason Adam, then you gotta deal with Tanner Scott.
Right.
And then to close the game, by the way, here's Robert Suarez.
It's gonna be tough. It's definitely gonna be tough. The Padres, and you've made this actually a bit more clear to me, Stefan, because for a while, and nobody could really blame me for this, because I think a lot of people felt this way after seeing the Padres have more in recent years, and now seeing them have less. You would think like, there's no way they had such and such before. They can't do it now. They don't stand a chance. But this might be the best Padres team
all
in
around
some time.
Yeah, all around. Yeah. Listen, Luis Ariz is perhaps he's the best leadoff hitter in the game.
Good luck trying to get 4 times in a game.
Him, nah,
you ain't gonna strike him out. That's for sure.
No, and then I gotta deal with a guy like Jarrison Profar, who's a pain in the ass.
Hell of a year he's had for the Padres, though.
He don't strike out either. That's the quietest 2020 season I think I've seen in the big league. Yeah, that's incredible.
He's had a big season for them. For sure.
Fernando is. We know what he is. He just loves the moment. He eats it up. I don't want to deal with that. Manny, you know what Manny is? Manny is Manny at this point. But the guy that scares the living shit out of me is one rookie by the name of Jackson Merrill.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm going to tell you right now, I think Jackson Merrill is the key to the Padres The whole thing. Because we know what Manny can do. We know what Fernando can do. We know what all these guys.
Am I crazy? And I don't think so. But I'd like to hear from you as well as everybody else who's watching right now. By the way, we haven't said it yet. But of course, as I always say, make sure you follow us on Instagram at 27outs3C. And of course, if you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel yet,
go do that right
please
now.
do so right now. We'll give you 1 second. All right. I hope you did it. But anyway, am I crazy for thinking that Jackson Mural do you think he's been the most important player for the Padres this year? I mean, we're talking about a rookie.
Yeah.
A rookie whose numbers weren't very rookie-like, I should say.
And I'm going to say something that's a little offensive. All you Paul Skeens stands, y'all can sit down. Y'all can sit down. He threw a 196, but y'all can sit down. This guy's hitting home runs to put the Padres in position to make the playoffs and possibly even further than that. Y'all can go sit down. This is Jackson Murrell's award. We're not even doing this. If you want to argue it, I'm here for it. I don't even feel the need to argue with you. Paul Skeens was pitching in meaningless baseball games for the last month. You can go sit down. Respectfully. Like, I don't want to hear from you. I don't want to hear this. If you're a Pirate fan and I offended you, I apologize. But come on now. Stop this foolishness. Like, what do we do? Like, at this point, you know how many leading he has, like, I think I read this stat, he has like 8 home runs in the 7th inning or later that lead the big leagues. This guy is a machine when the game's on the line.
Could you imagine if he could actually keep that up now that
oh my God,
is about to begin? I mean, what better time than to do it other than the postseason? Let's be honest.
Listen, and here's the thing. That lineup is going to get even better because everybody knows their role, right? Everybody knows, this is my role. This is what I'm assigned to do. And this is how I'm going to go about doing it. They're going to be tough to I'm telling you right now, they're going to be tough to deal with. I don't want no problems. Oh, by the way, we haven't even talked about Xander Bogaerts, who's a postseason veteran at this thing and has won championships with the Red Sox. Yeah. So please, I don't want to deal with them. No way. Mm-hmm. No way. As far as the other, Razor brought up a good point. So the winner of the Padres Braves gets to face the Dodgers in the first round of the playoffs. Imagine if we get Padres Dodgers first round of the playoffs.
Sign me up right now. Where do I sign? Because I'll take that. I'll take that.
Oh man,
that's gonna be very similar to a heavyweight bout, honestly.
Oh my God, yeah. Who you got in that series? Who would you take? Because I'm taking.
So I'm gonna say this right now to start things off. As you just mentioned, Stefan, it will be the Padres up against the Braves. Mm-hmm. I got the Padres defeating the Braves.
How many
games? Ah, man, what's that? What is that? Is that best of 3, best of 5?
Best of 3.
Best of 3.
All wild card series are best of 3.
If the Braves get one, somehow, some way, it wouldn't surprise me, but I still got the Padres winning. So I'd say in 3. Now, when it comes to the Dodgers, now this may surprise a lot of people, especially if you're on that high horse that the Dodgers are on, along with Ohtani and Betts and Freeman and everybody else that they acquired, not only in the offseason, but even during the regular season.
Right.
I got the Padres defeating the Dodgers. I don't know if I'm wrong for saying this, but no. The Dodgers just don't scare me.
Listen.
Now, offensively, of course. Outside of that, there's no one in the rotation that strikes fear in my heart. Mm-hmm. There's no one at the back end of that bullpen that strikes fear in my heart. Listen, you no longer have a young Kenley Jansen. Those days are dead. Absolutely dead. You don't have a young Clayton Kershaw. You don't have a young Walker Buehler.
So let me play devil's advocate. Let me just play devil's advocate.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate because I just want to have a little bit of a debate. Doesn't experience count for something this time of year though?
It does.
Don't you want to have the team, the veteran team that's kind of been there, that's kind of been through those wars and kind of knows what it takes to get to the next level? Not saying I would take the Dodgers, but let's just paint this out. Mookie Betts,
World Series champion.
World Series champion. Freddie Freeman, World Series champion.
Right.
Like, you got guys on here that won some championships now. So let's not act like it's for anybody taking the Dodgers. You're crazy for taking the Dodgers. Here's the problem with you taking the Dodgers. Guess who starts a game that you need to win your life? Guess who's starting game 1 for the Los Angeles Dodgers? If I had to guess right now, Jack Flaherty's getting the ball.
Right, I agree.
I don't know if I trust Jack Flaherty in a big spot with the game on the line for Jack Flaherty to get the ball. No,
now,
Jack Flaherty's good enough.
That's just game 1. And I don't think many would disagree with that, which, of course,
what I would do with you. What I would do is,
if you're the Dodgers, who's coming out games 2, 3, 4?
I guess what they'll do is they'll go Yamamoto in game 2 because Yamamoto's looked good. His last 2 starts, he's looked good, but he's been in short spurts, right?
Exactly. So, could you bank on that?
I mean, you're gonna have to.
At this point, you can't do anything else.
Postseason baseball? You don't have starters really going 6, 7, 8 innings anymore, right? So if you could get him 2 times through the order with minimal damage, I think if you're the Dodgers, you take that and run to the bank.
Yeah.
Right? The question after Yamamoto is who gets the ball?
Exactly.
Is it Walker Buehler that gets the ball? Or are we giving the ball to who are we giving the ball to? Right? And that's where I'm like, don't know how I feel about you guys.
By the way, just want to put this out there as a reminder. Stefan and I definitely are aware of this. If you're thinking about Tyler Glass now, no, you're wrong because he's done. So
for the season, yes.
Exactly. That's another thing that the Dodgers have to deal with, having less.
That's rough because they just extended him too after they traded for him. They gave him like a 5-year deal.
Not worth it, man. And I'm not here to shit on Tyler Glass. Now, great pitcher when he's on, one of the best pitchers in the game when he's on.
Yep.
But we could go back to his days with the Rays, man. Like he's shown it before. Yeah. Great stuff. When he's on, he's really on. Mm-hmm. But he just can't seem to put it all together over the course of a full season.
Fair point. All right. We got to go to the American League side of this thing now, because I'm going to tell you something right now. The fever bit me, y'all.
What fever is this?
The fever bit me. The Detroit Tigers, Little Caesars, Tyreek Schoolboy fever has bitten my body, and I'm taking the Detroit Tigers to beat the Baltimore Orioles in this wild card series.
Wow. Well, actually, no. It's Kansas City, Baltimore. And the Tigers are facing the Astros.
So I'm taking Detroit to beat Houston.
Really?
Yes.
So all right, let's get into this. So
and I know that sounds like a contradiction because I said the Astros and the Yankees are going to play each other last week. If you watch the show, there's something about having that. Because again, what do they got to lose?
So here's
what do they have to lose?
Let's get into that series now. I'm gonna say this: Astros. Start preparing for games 2 and 3. You're not winning game 1. If you win game 1, I'd be surprised. And you know why I say that.
You got Valdez going down to school.
Exactly. By the way, he just won the Triple Crown.
Oh yeah,
shout out to him for doing that. You already know he's got the American League Cy Young in the bag. The plaque is ready. They're just waiting to give him the call. So the Astros.
Wait. Hold on. So you telling me Framber Valdez, who's a postseason warrior, who always pitches his rear end off in the playoffs, is gonna face Tarek Schoolboy, and Tarek Schoolboy's gonna say, "Yo, I hear you, but you taking them to beat Houston in game 1."
I think so. Now I don't have them, unlike you. And this is why this show is great. Sometimes we agree here on 27 Outs, and there are times like right now, for example, where we disagree. And I say that because I, on the other hand, have the Astros winning that series. Now, I just said I don't have them winning game 1, but I just think the Astros offensively, I think they have way too many guys who have been there. done that. You referenced experience. We were just touching on the Dodgers just a few minutes ago.
Right. Yeah.
And I think it works in their favor. However, is it going to be easy? I don't think so.
So
I think momentum. We talked about the Mets having momentum. I think the Tigers are in a very similar situation.
Right.
Listen, ride it until the wheels fall off.
So here's the message for the Houston Astros. You better win game 1. Because if you don't, you ain't winning the series.
I just don't see how, man. And Framber Valdez, I mean, we're going to be watching 2 of the best lefties in the game, right?
Right, no doubt.
It wouldn't surprise me if the Astros came out on top.
Right.
Because, I mean, the Astros, they're just simply born in October.
See, but
like their date of birth is October 1st.
Here's what I'm going to tell you, though. Seriously, I can see them ambushing Tarek Skubal. Not used to pitching playoff baseball, not used to doing the things that are needed. This is different from regular season ball, bro.
True.
This is very different. They've been here 1,000 times before. That first heater they see, that shit's gonna go. Somebody's gonna try to hit that bitch to the train tracks, bro.
And it might be Altuve.
And if Altuve leads off, that motherfucker's going. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's going past the Crawford boxes somewhere that a ball shouldn't be.
Oh, by the way, another thing I'd like to say too, Stefan, I know a few minutes ago when we were talking about the Mets and whatnot, you said there were some things that you just didn't want to see from the fan base on Twitter. I just want to put this out there. I don't want to hear about the Astros cheating. Listen, those days are over. It is a wrap. They're good. Just deal with it. And I'm a Yankee fan saying that.
Right.
Like let's cut the crap.
Yeah. No.
It's the trash cans.
And you know what? All on it. Here's.
I'm gonna say something else after you get into that point.
Go ahead. Here's the braggadocious Yankee fan in me about to come out. You ready? Bring them. Bring them here. Bring them.
Right.
No buzzers, no trash cans, none of that. We want your asses.
Yeah.
Fuck that fear to start shit, Razor. We want your asses. We want them.
So let me get into one more point when it comes to this Tigers Astros series, Stefan. And I think this is going to be a great point. I think it has to be mentioned.
Yeah.
The manager of
AJ
the Detroit Tigers. Talk about somebody who knows your game plan and who's been there.
And that's why I'm taking Detroit to win the series. Because if anybody knows how to navigate that lineup, it's him.
And listen, it hasn't changed much since he left. Who's still there?
It's the same damn team.
Altuve's still there.
Right.
Bregman is still there.
Right.
Alvarez is. I mean, all these guys are still there.
And listen, Yordan Alvarez is not 100%. So you know the first thing I'm doing his first at bat? Yo, bro, I'm pounding you inside with fastballs right at your hands. Because not to be mean or evil or sadistic or nothing like that. You know what I want to see him do? Foul another rocket right off that knee.
Ooh.
Go ahead. Try to cheat on an inside heater and foul a fast ball off your knee.
It's better than hitting the guy, right?
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you got to think about strategy right now, right? Like, AJ Hinch is probably going over that lineup going, yo, Tarek, throw your first pitch changeup. Don't give this guy a heater, because if you do, he might send that shit to fucking El Paso. You know what I'm saying? Like, Bregman is Bregman, we understand. Like, their whole game plan should be, Detroit, yo, we got to pitch inside. Don't be afraid to pitch inside. If you know you're dealing with a short porch in right field in Houston, they want to extend their arms and go the other way. You want to be able to pitch inside to the Astros and make them think about, oh, damn, these young brothers coming inside with no fear. Inside fastballs, right on right changeups. You want to make them think, yo, they're trying to get us out right here, because here's the thing. If Houston gets comfortable in game 1, like Razor said, it's all but over. Houston's winning this series in 2.
Oh, yeah.
You got to make the Houston Astros feel like, yo, is this the end? Is this where it all comes to an end? Is this the last time Alex Bregman is walking off this field? Very well could be. And here's what I'll say. This is gonna sound crazy to say, but play stupid. Play stupid. You have no expectation. You don't know what this is like. Go out and play stupid. What you got to lose? Nothing. Go out and win game 1. Do it. Is it easy? No. And here's the thing I'm gonna tell you. If they do win game 1, AJ Hinch is just riding with house money. They just riding with house money.
Yeah. The advantage that I give the Astros in this case is really offensively for the most part. I think when it comes to both teams and their starting rotations, I think it could really go either way. Now, when you consider the experience, of course, that favors the Astros.
Overall, I'm going with Houston's rotation because if we're being honest, Detroit don't have a rotation after school, but it's a bunch of bullpen guys.
Right.
They have like bullpen days. It's like Johnny Holstaff. One day it's the kid Halton that's throwing the lefty. He comes out of the bullpen. One day it might be Reese Olson. The next day it might be the kid Kaider Montero. So they don't have a set rotation as to who's pitching on what day. Where Houston can go from Fromber to Hunter Brown to, you know what I'm saying? They got options.
You say Kikuchi.
You say Kikuchi's probably going to get
ever since they acquired him.
He's probably going to get game 2. If you want to go Blanco instead of Hunter Brown, they could do that too.
Right.
So Houston has a lot more weapons in terms of figuring out how to navigate a lineup, right? Where
right. More depth for sure.
Right. Where AJ Hinch is literally gonna have to like, all right, yo. It's like picking out. You ever seen the game? Pick out the hat.
Yeah.
He's gonna have his hat off before the game, and they're gonna throw the roster in a piece of paper. Like, yo, pick out a name. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be what's gonna happen. And the other series, Baltimore's just gonna beat KC. I like KC, but
they struggled big time in September.
Yeah, the way they kind of closed out the season. And here's the thing.
They almost missed out on their chance at clinching damn near, because I was asking you, like, yo, do you think the Royals make it? Do you think they don't make it? Because, you know, you had all these crazy things happening over the past month.
Bro, dog, you know they're the first team in baseball to have 2 7-game losing streaks in one season and make the playoffs?
Wow. I did not know that.
That's crazy.
Talk about a fun fact.
Right? So when you start talking about like having the ups and downs of a season, they literally went through the epitome of like, you know, peaks and valleys and peaks again and the valley and the peak again and the valley and the peak again. Listen, you're going to need Salvador Perez to be Salvador Perez. You're going to Vinny Pasquantino, they're hoping to get him back, but they're not certain.
Yeah,
Bobby Witt,
Bobby Witt,
he's going to have to keep playing at this level. You're going to need something from Melendez, and Hunter Renfro's going to have to do something at some point. They're going to have to do something. Tommy Pham's going to have to somebody got to do something now. Because guess what's waiting for you on the other side? I got Gunnar. Adley. I don't care how bad Adley Rutschman's been in the second half. That's still a guy that's a proficient hitter. Yeah. Gunnar Henderson hit 37 home runs at a leadoff spot. We got Anthony Santander, who was having seasons of seasons. All right, so let's not forget him. You know what I'm saying? Look, Colton Cowser might win Rookie of the Year, although I'd give it to one of the Yankee guys, me personally as a Yankee fan, but I wouldn't be mad if Colton won it. Not a bad year. Not a bad year. And then, oh, by the way, I'm coming off the bench with Jackson Holiday. I'm coming off the bench with a bunch of guys. Here's the problem for the Orioles. When it gets later into the postseason, that bullpen kind of is going to be exposed. Because I don't think you can't count on 7 innings from everybody. The only one that may be able to give you 7 innings just based on his pedigree is Corbin Burns.
Right.
Right? So he got to come out tomorrow and set the tone early. Yo, I'm going 7-8, and the only person that's getting this ball is Sir Anthony Dominguez to close this game out. Because if I gotta go to Yair Cano and Cino Perez, and we might be here for a hot minute sweating our balls off.
Good thing they got rid of Kimbrel, because if not, he'd be one of those guys on that list too.
Listen, a sub 11 ERA that'll help you get rid of him.
Yeah, I agree with you though, Steph, and I have to admit as well. I also have the Orioles defeating the Royals. If the Royals are lucky and a guy like a Seth Lugo or Reigns could somehow put it all together for one game.
Riggins is the guy. Riggins to me is the guy. Cole Riggins is the guy that's starting game 1 tomorrow. He's the guy that you look at and you go, if we're going to win a game, it has to start with you. But here's the problem. Corbin Burns is sitting on the other side looking at you going, oh word? Hold that. Just hold that down.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? Hold that. Please. For me.
By the way, Corbin Burns, he's done exactly what the Orioles need him to do.
You want to talk about getting a bag? You want to talk about getting a bag? Memo to the New York Mets. Fuck Juan Soto. Go get that guy.
Wow.
Memo to the New York Mets. I'm trying to help y'all. Fuck Juan Soto. Go get that guy and go get Willie Adames to play short and move Lindor to second and put Acuna at third. Viento's got to play first base.
You know, I'm glad you brought up Willie Adames. I know we're on the American League side of things now, but really quick, I think if I'm Willie Adames, I'm out of Milwaukee, bro. And not because that things ended terribly, but no. I want to get paid.
He's about to get the bag. I'm gonna tell you. Yeah. I'm gonna tell you where Willie Adames is going. The shortstop for the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Oh boy, yeah. Here comes the Dodgers opening up the checkbook. Here's the blank check. What would you like? We just signed yet another $1 billion TV deal or some nonsense like that.
So
here's the money.
Here's what I'm gonna ask you though, right? Out of the teams that come out, right?
We gonna get into that, bro. I'm looking at them as well, but because we got to share with everybody else.
So now the reason why, listen, Willie Adames in New York would be fucking psychotic. I'm just letting you know, Willie Adames and Corbin Burns in New York City playing for the New York Metropolitans would be that would feed families for generations.
Oh yeah,
generations. Forget about it. Cause let me tell you something. No disrespect to Luis Severino, you ain't Corbin Burns, bruh.
No.
You imagine Corbin Burns with a healthy Kodai Singer next year, and you bring back Benaya, and you got no.
That's a lovely 1-2 punch.
No, thank you. No, thank you. Right. Are you kidding me? Good Lord, what? Steve Cohen, listen to me, bro.
Right.
I can change the fortunes of your franchise, bro.
Right. I want to say something else as well, just to kind of like gear everyone who watches 27 Outs. And of course, we appreciate it. Really quickly, follow us on Instagram, of course, at 27 Outs 3C, and YouTube, like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. So what we are doing here tonight is, and Stefan, I'm sure you would agree, this is a preview of what October is going to be like here on the show. And you're probably wondering, oh, the hell are you talking about, right? What I mean by that is, notice how the Mets and Braves, they played early today in the afternoon. They had that second game. And we didn't hop on quickly after the games ended. But we're here to provide you with the ins, the outs, how I feel, how Stefan feels, how you guys feel. There's a comment section for that. This is exactly what October is going to be like here on the show. Stefan and I are excited. I hope you guys are enjoying tonight's show, and not only tonight's show, but what we have in store moving forward.
And I'm gonna tell you something right now. You know them. You know the watch along we had the other night, right? Playoff watch along is different, y'all. We might be doing a playoff watch along. I gotta talk to this guy, and we gotta figure it out. But can you imagine playoff watch along? That would be incredible.
Oh man, forget
That would be
about it.
incredible.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine this, man? Because today, listen, man, for me, the playoffs began today.
Word.
I know we're waiting for tomorrow, and that's Christmas for us baseball fans.
Hell yeah.
It begins tomorrow. But boy, Christmas Eve was today, if you ask me.
Yo, I started looking under the tree for gifts already, bro. You know what I mean? I was like, hold on. There's a gift under here for me, bro. You know what I mean? So, listen, man. Also, by the way, just want to hit you with the by the way. Guess what? If you're going to Yankee game, if you're going to the first Yankee game of the ALDS, come say hi. Come pop out.
Oh, yes, that is
We're
right.
going to be in the building. 27 ounce will be in the building for game 1. Come say hi. We'll,
absolutely.
Know what I mean?
We will
Don't
be
a
there.
stranger. We outside. This is playoffs. Know what I mean? I don't know what time he plans to get to Yankee Stadium, but I plan on being there. If the game starts at 7:30, my happy ass plans to be in Yankee Stadium about 5.
Nah, he's lying. Let me say this. If the Yankees allowed this man to camp right outside of the stadium with a mattress, an airbed at that, an air mattress, he would do it. You would do it. But I'm excited nonetheless. I can't wait for Saturday.
Listen,
if today was any indication for what's in store with the playoffs now officially beginning tomorrow, I am ready, locked and loaded. Don't invite me anywhere unless it's to a playoff game. If not, I'm in the crib.
Listen, and here's the thing. So we go in a game. Can you imagine what that's gonna look like? Game 1 at Yankee Stadium.
I'm losing my voice. We already talked about it. I'm losing my voice.
First of all, I don't mean to be this guy, but the amount of alcoholic beverages that are gonna be consumed on that day, you're gonna have to come get us, y'all. For real.
I'm excited, man. I'm excited.
I'll just leave it with this real quick. We didn't talk about them. We didn't talk about them on the last video. We got to get them to them now real quick, and we're leaving. One of the dark horses might be the Cleveland Guardians.
Yes.
I know they lost Shane Bieber, but my Lord, are they somebody I don't want to deal with?
I agree. And then we know having the best close in the game by the name of Emmanuel Clase.
He's in his own class, literally.
Yeah, the Class A. It ain't a class; it's a Class A.
Yeah, he's in his own class. He's in his own class. He ain't even forget y'all. Y'all niggas at beginner.
I agree though. I think the Guardians are a team when it comes to those late game tight situations. They look like a team
built for it, man.
That knows what they're gonna do.
Yep.
There was a game earlier this year that Stefan and I went to in Yankee Stadium where the Guardians, of course, defeated the Yankees in extra innings, and they just made the Yankees look foolish.
They did. That bullpen is no joke. And here's the thing that's funny. Me and this guy were looking at each other when Clase comes into the game, and mind you, we're sitting all the way up in the bleachers. We ain't sitting in the, you know what I mean? We sitting with them fans are. Yo, we heard Clase warming up. We heard the pop of the glove. Me and him looked at each other and said, "Oh shit." Because if you can hear the pop of the glove from all the way where we was at, I don't even want to get in the box and look at what that looks like in real. No, you talking about 99-mile-an-hour sinkers? No, I'm good.
What I am intrigued though, I would say, I'd like to see how teams approach the Guardians lineup. Obviously, Jose Ramirez is a guy who you don't want to see.
Steven Kwan's another pain in the ass.
Yeah, I'm curious to know if teams are going to be pitching around guys like that to deal with the rest of the lineup instead. Well, but here's the thing. You have to face these guys no matter what, right?
Listen, I don't want to listen. Matthew Boyd, he's pitched as well for them. Since he's went to Cleveland, he's pitched well for them. Listen, I don't know how they're doing this. I don't know how the Guardians are even here. But they're here. When you get to a team like that, they don't got nothing to lose either. Because everybody expects this to be Yankees Astros Part 4 or whatever the case may be. They ain't got nothing to lose. So why go crazy? Nah. I don't want to deal with that. Because they got nothing to lose. And they've been here before. And here's the thing. They might have the most slept on team in the entire game. They feel the ball well. They pitch really well, and they just get timely hits. It's not about how many hits you get, but it's when you get the hit. So they're gonna be a tough out in these playoffs for sure.
Definitely.
That being said, though, man, speaking of being a tough out,
no, before we go,
let's read these comments.
The comments some love really quickly.
Oh, and if you a Knicks fan, while Rick goes through those comments, there's a cat on the loose. There's a cat on the loose, and I can't wait for him to put on the Knicks jersey.
Rick says Lindor should be MVP. Yes,
no doubt.
After today's performance, many would agree with you.
No doubt. Please.
Carlos Mendoza should at bare minimum be nominated. Yo, you know what? I want to I think you remember this guy, Stefan. Do you remember Brandon? Shout out to Brandon Julian. You remember him from Kingsborough?
Yes.
So if you're watching the show, Brandon, shout out to you. But if not, I did want to get into this quickly. So Brandon hit me up earlier today on Instagram, and he said exactly that. He was like, yo, I really think that, Carlos Mendoza should be in the conversation.
He should be in the running.
And if not, he should win.
He should be in the running for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if he wins it, but he should be in the running for sure. Mets are walking into fame, taking 2 out of 3. Then
taken down by the Phillies. I agree. I don't really know how to go when it comes to this Mets Brewers series. But I don't see either team moving on to then defeat the Phillies.
Nah, Philly is gonna be. You know what I really want to see? I want to see Phillies.
Rick says, "Oh, he appreciates the apology." Listen, man, he had 27 outs.
It wasn't.
We give credit where it's due. If we have to apologize,
hey man, I got that one wrong.
Provided us with a very good example of that.
Tonight. I'll admit it. I got that one wrong. I really did. But shit, you killed that. So shout out to you.
He also says, "I think the Astros are sweeping the Tigers. Schoolboy has never been there. Astros have the experience. It wouldn't surprise me."
It wouldn't surprise me, but I think having AJ Hinch in the dugout is going to pay some dividend to some point.
Right.
That's all I'll say. Yeah.
What did you just say? Adames to New York is crazy. Corbin to the Mets would be solid. Absolutely.
No, it's.
Then he puts this out there: a possible rotation.
Burns
that could consist of Burns, Senga, Severino, Minaya, and Peterson. Wow.
That's not bad.
Emilio, shout out to you. I practically live at
Yankee Stadium.
By the way, I'm going to say this. Emilio, you have chipped into the Yankees and their future offer to Juan Soto. You have.
I mean, this nice little rack I put up for these playoff tickets didn't help it. Didn't hurt either. You know what I mean? So,
who said he's tapping in now?
Tapping in. All right,
he's
man.
Making some steak, he says. All right. Hope it tastes good. Listen,
I hear that.
I hope it's medium well, medium rare.
I mean,
well done.
Do that.
He also says he's got the Royals over the Orioles.
Nah, I can't do that, man. Can't do that. Just because I can't do that, just simply off the strength. KC ain't ready for the moment. I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so. I agree about Hinch is what Razor says.
Right. And that's everything.
That's about it. Also, guys, real quick, I'm going to let you know, if there is a topic you want us to touch on throughout in this postseason at any point, what I'm going to do, wow, he also has the Royals over the Orioles. Razor has. Interesting. I have the Royals over. Also have Royals over Baltimore. Interesting. Look, what I will say, if you guys have any specific topic you want to talk about during the postseason, feel free to leave a comment under this video, and we will get to your comments. We read your comments. We respond to them in kind. I don't particularly know the order in which.
Or if you don't actually leave a comment underneath this video, feel free to DM us on DM the show's page on Instagram.
27 Hours Instagram page.
We'll make sure to
big time.
Bring that to light.
Big time.
In October.
Big time. Also, guys, listen, there's gonna be a lot of playoff fun that's about to happen. So stay tuned to the channel. We working, we getting stuff together. These games tomorrow are gonna be incredible. I don't know. I might be in the IG at some point in the
Right.
afternoon, depending on what this guy's doing. We might hop in the IG at some point while the games is going on. Show
Right.
face a little bit. I don't know. So we'll talk about that. But I'm excited, man.
All right.
Playoff baseball is here.
One last time before we go, because we got 6 people in here. I got my eyes on you guys. So make sure you follow us on Instagram at 27outs3C. And if you have not subscribed, hit that subscribe button, because boy, oh boy, you better buckle your seatbelt. 27 outs is about to go insane in October.
Yeah, word. Hit the notification bell. Hit the notification bell. And as I like to say, we ain't got to go home, but we got to get the hell up out of here. Peace.